The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy focuses on the life of a divorced mother, Amu, her 2 kids, Essa and Rahel, and the rest of their family. The story takes place in a small village in southwestern India. Between the years of 1969 and 1993. The story revolves around the events before and after the death of Essa and Rahel's cousin, Sophie Mal. As the story unfolds, the reader gets insight into the social and political issues of India. The storyline exists during and after the criminalization of the caste system and a post-colonial India. Even though these structures are technically no longer implemented in India, Roy uses her characters to show that the effects of these systems are still prevalent in Indian society. Not only does the book deal with the perspective of women, but it also gives the perspective of women of color. Most of the women in the book are Asian Indian, except for Sophie Mal and her mother. Despite Sophie Mal being half white and half Indian, her cousins, specifically Rahel, are envious of her. Rahel and her family view Sophie and her mother as superior because of their skin tone. The family starts to realize their internalized prejudice when their uncle calls them an Anglophile and tells them to question why they love the sound of music so much. Why did Rahel and the others find the Von Trapp family so aspirational? Was it their matching Austrian wardrobe? Their ability to harmonize together as a familial unit? Or maybe it was their desire to be a part of a white picket-fenced family? The ideal.
Is India a country of closet racists? Even today, are we obsessed with fair skin and are we biased against those with darker complexions?
The caste system and arranged marriages are not common practices worldwide. However, participating in these customs are common in India. The book illustrates how these customs manifest in the lives of women. The story seems to imply that women marrying for love is frowned upon more than men. Amu's mother shames her for marrying a man for love and then getting a divorce. However, Amu's brother did the exact same thing, but their mother says nothing. The idea of finding love is a societal expectation in the United States. However, this idea seems foreign in a place where arranged marriages are common and seemingly unquestioned.
Ce ne sont pas les personnes qui comptent, mais la relation entre les personnes. On n'est pas pur ou impur, on est plus pur ou moins pur que tel ou tel autre.
Access to education is briefly touched upon. Rahel is able to attend school. This seems to be due to a combination of both caste and class. Her family is of a higher caste, so going to school is more readily available. It's interesting to see the juxtaposition between women of a higher caste or class being afforded the opportunity to go to school as opposed to women in the untouchables caste not even being able to think about the idea of school because of the lack of resources and the overall prejudice.
Des arides gens. Est-ce qu'on souhaite vraiment leur en faire profiter? On m'a expliqué en Inde que les paysans de caste inférieure, plus que les autres, étaient réfractaires au changement. Ils sont prêts à refuser une réforme agraire si elle modifie l'ordre traditionnel de la hiérarchie. Ainsi, par atavisme et manque d'éducation, le système des castes serait farouchement défendu par ceux qui en souffrent le plus.
The imbalance in power dynamics between men and women is prevalent within the story. This imbalance commonly manifests itself in the form of domestic and sexual abuse. Amu and her mother are subjected to domestic abuse from their husbands. At one point, Amu's husband tries to force Amu to have sex with his boss in order to save his job. When she refuses, he beats her. Amu also experiences sexual assault from a police officer. He stares at her breasts and then eventually touches him with his baton. These instances of abuse are a direct result of men and society believing they have dominion over and are superior to women.
A 2014 study by the United Nations Population Fund and International Center for Research on Women shows that 6 out of 10 men in India justified violence against women. But worrying, that's not all. 70% of married women there justify gender-based violence. The fact that domestic violence is considered acceptable is why women in India are so vulnerable to it.
The God of Small Things sheds light on the daily lives of women in India and shows us that navigating Indian society, much like American society, means dealing with a post-colonial mindset, normalized patriarchal values, violence against women, and overall prejudice.